special guest in today's edition of Agripreneur TV Invitee. It's Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo, Director General of the National Agricultural Seeds Council in Nigeria. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
We're happy to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Center of Excellence for Seed Industry in West Africa.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about that Center of Excellence.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that the National Agricultural Seed Council is the agency of government responsible for coordinating and regulating the seed industry in Nigeria.
Right.
We are the apex body that does regulation. And you see, because of our position in Africa, in West Africa, and the fact that the majority, let me say the larger quantity of seed beans West Africa is produced in Nigeria.
That's about 60% of the market, right?
About 60% of the seed beans West Africa is, using West Africa is produced in Nigeria. It behoves on us, because of that leadership position, to create a center of excellence in order to be able to do so many things. It's going to be a center of excellence for seed industry, a center of excellence for data management, going to be a capacity building hub, and it's going to be a research hub on seed industry.
We're going to come back to all of that because
Okay.
we know that you're driving in that direction.
Okay.
Let us talk a little bit about some new developments in the Nigerian seed industry. So we understand the president in 2019 signed the national, what you call the National Agricultural Seed Act.
Yeah.
What is it? Just in a few words for somebody who doesn't know and follow the developments in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The Seed Act number 21 of 2019 was actually signed so that our Seed Act and the way we do things will be in consonant with global best practices. That is just what it is. And there are a number of innovations in the new Seed Act, like the issue of association certification, the issue of belonging to the UPOF, particularly the need to ensure that our farmers have adequate access to the best genetics that we can get everywhere.
Excellent.
And also, we want our breeders to be motivated. So,
excellent. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. But let's just say, how much is that aligned to the 5-year strategic plan, which I know you've also set up for the sector?
thank you very much. You see, that's one of the innovations we have actually introduced, because there must, if you don't plan your activities, you plan to fail, and that's exactly what we're doing with that 5-year strategic plan. We want to be able to have a plan so that we can measure and be able to know how we are progressing. And even in addition to the 5-year strategic plan, we are developing a 2-year operational plan for you to know that we are really ready to go.
Excellent. That is great. Nigeria, as you've said, represents 60% of the market in West Africa. That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how did you get to that? Because we know now that you have over 300 and something, 40+ companies in Nigeria doing seed trading.
Thank you very much. You see, let me start by saying that we are partnering with Sudan Seed Industries Enterprises Association in Nigeria. We call them Sudan. And we have about 314 seed enterprises, seed companies of different categories, small, medium, large, including seed dealers. And we didn't just get there overnight. Our population is large, and we produce, if you look at Nigerian population and that of West Africa, you exactly know what we're talking about.
It's over 200 million now,
yes,
right?
And because of the program that was started before under the Growth Enhancement Program, a lot of...
That's under the Federal Minister
under Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, who is now the President of African Development Bank.
Right.
It's actually spur people to go into the seed business. As we are talking, we have more than 200 applicants who want to go into the seed business. That will show you how big and how large, and the interest that people are showing in coming into the seed business.
So somehow it's policy that has facilitated the proliferation of seed businesses in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So the policy has been helpful.
Yeah.
And that's one of your roles, right? Which is to review and approve companies that want to get into the seed business.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that this remains well, in terms of integrity, that the process actually allows those who want to be who are interested and qualified to do that are actually the ones in the market?
Yeah, thank you very, very much. You see, I want to start by saying that people that are in business, we have a lot of accreditation criteria for them to meet. Do a lot of inspection to their facilities, look at their manpower, and look at their credentials, and ensure that the right people are there. And also, we don't just stop at that. We post our certification officers to actually supervise and inspect their seed fields and ensure that the seed fields meet standards. So these are some of the things we do. Then also very, very importantly, the fact that you are accredited this year does not mean that accreditation is forever. We do re-accreditation.
After how long?
Certificate. After 2 years. We look at your facilities. The fact that you are a large-scale seed company this year does not mean that you are going to remain large-scale seed company next year or 2 years after. If you cannot maintain your facilities, if you've lost your staff, if you don't have the breeders, you don't have agronomists, you will be downgraded. So that is some of those things we do in order to ensure that the quality and all those parameters that we saw are maintained.
Interesting. Do you have young people in some of this, operating some of these businesses?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have young people. We even have women that are women managing directors of seed companies in Nigeria.
Do you go out looking to have policies that are gender sensitive, youth sensitive, meaning that in terms of your vetting, do you say, okay, we are looking out to also promote women who are trying to get into the seed business?
That will show you exactly. That's exactly what I've said. There are 2 seed companies I can mention immediately that are owned and run directly by women. Also, some of the seed companies are owned by youth, and they are doing very, very well. I remember some time ago, we took the Honorable Minister on a trip to Kano, and he was surprised with what he saw. Seed companies being run by youth, seed companies being run by women. That will show you what our policy is like. We are gender sensitive, and we want to ensure that youths are actually into the business, and a lot of them are actually in the seed business.
Excellent. Well, if you're just joining us, we are receiving Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo, Director General of the National Agricultural Seeds Council in Nigeria. Let us talk a little bit about your processes. You've said you want to be a center of excellence.
Yeah.
Could you just develop that a little bit? What does that mean in layman's term?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, when you are doing a business, there's somebody who is actually a leader, a role model kind of figure that people will look up to. People will want to see, oh, is he doing it well? Has he all the necessary criteria? Has he all the necessary parameters to actually maintain that leadership position? That's exactly what we're doing in the seed industry, particularly in West Africa. Because if we are producing 60% of the seed being used in West Africa, and that shows, it behoves on us to actually be a leader in it. And for us to be a leader indeed, this center of excellence is very important. A center of capacity building, because we have to continue to build the capacity, and that's exactly what we'll be doing in collaboration with universities of agriculture here and some other governmental agencies.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about fake seeds in the market. A lot of countries are facing this challenge. Nigeria is also facing this challenge. We understand you're putting in place some innovative ways to handle this. Speak to us a little bit about your tracking and authentication system.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, we are actually bringing on board a number of innovations, particularly to ensure that our farmers are protected from unscrupulous seed merchants. It's not peculiar to the industry, to the seed industry. It's known everywhere. But we want to sanitize, and that's exactly why we introduced what you call the Ecodex.
What is Ecodex, by the way? Another concept right here.
Yeah, the Ecodex is an app, a label that we attach to seed containers. And it has a scratchable area which you scratch, and you see a particular number which you send to a dedicated number, and you immediately get an alert that that seed is either genuine or fake. If it's genuine, you see all the parameters: the producer, the name of the producer, the crop, the variety, and the quality parameters.
Is it happening?
It's happening.
Is it helping in terms of improving traceability and good quality seeds in the market?
It is going to help. We want to start it during this forthcoming season, but we have looked at it, and it has even been unveiled. You know, it's actually happening. It has been tested, so we are ready to go, and we are going to kickstart it with some of our EGS companies, so that we can be, you know, we will be able to do, because that's the only thing that we can do. Because there are a lot of hue and cry about adulteration, poor quality seed, bad quality seed. So that is one of the innovations that's actually put.
Excellent. Some people have said that this tracking system could be replicated in West Africa or other countries that are also facing this challenge. Isn't that good news? And it shows that you're actually doing a lot of work in Nigeria.
That's exactly why I said we are developing a center of excellence for seed industry in West Africa. Right. What we are doing, we are not doing it only for Nigeria.
Right.
We are doing it to be able to cover West African sub-region, and we'll be ready to assist our sister countries to be able to get to this level.
And we know this system is building from a previous system you had in the cassava sector.
Yeah.
Could you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you very much. You are talking of the cassava seed tracker. That is actually a web app of looking at what happens in the industry, in the whole total chain, from production to processing and marketing. So, and it's a situation whereby you'll be able to look, sit in your office, look at what is happening in the chain, from breeder seed, even from what is happening at the research institution, particularly when it comes to production of breeder seed, to foundation seed, and to certified seed, and to see going into actually the market. So, and we started with cassava, it has gone to yam, but now what we are developing, what we have presently now is the national seed tracker that is going to cover all the crops that are under certification, so that we will be able to know exactly what's happening, and it's for everybody. Even you as a stakeholder will go to the web and be able to see what's happening. When you want to buy seed, you'll be able to see who has the seed, you know the quality parameters, who produce the seed, what is the cost per ton and the rest of it. So that is actually in place.
So what I was trying to say, Mr. Director General, is that what we've also noticed in this recent years is your testing arrangement has undergone very significant improvements as well. Could you just speak to us a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, we are moving from analog certification to electronic certification. And our testing arrangement has been developed in such a way that we have a molecular testing facility. And we have that in a way so that we want to actually be sure that the quality of all our planting materials meet all the necessary standards. And the molecular facility is actually there. It was inaugurated last year, 2018 to be precise, and it's actually a center whereby all disease issues are actually looked at, and you can test any part of the plant, the seed, the roots, wherever, using the DNA system. So these are some of the things we do in the seed testing laboratory. And I want to say that this laboratory is a center of excellence actually, and it's a ref-free laboratory. In addition to this laboratory, we have 6 regional laboratories in our regional offices. And in addition, the IFAD program has been able to set up mini seed testing laboratories in some states that are actually far from where we have our seed testing facilities.
Excellent. This is super great. Yeah. Well, again, if you're just joining us, we are actually receiving Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo. He is the Director General of the National Agricultural Seeds Council in Nigeria. So let's just talk a little bit about how much this experience could be obviously replicable for West Africa. But let's just talk a little bit, just for a second, about some of the challenges companies have moving seeds from one country to the other, what we call intra-regional trade. We've spoken to some of the companies. They tell you how long it takes to move, a truckload of seeds from Nigeria to, say, Burkina Faso or Sierra Leone. There is something that we've done in the region which is known as a harmonization of seed rules.
Yes.
Do you think it's been helpful from your perspective?
Harmonization is very good. But you see, there's the need to properly harmonize the movement of seeds. Because we discovered that even during the Ebola time, when some of the seed companies in Nigeria under the Sudan were to move seeds to those countries, we discovered that some of the containers, some of the trailers spent weeks, at times months, in borders of countries. I think that they need to actually look at it very closely. It's actually a big challenge, it's a limitation. Because now most of our seed enterprises in Nigeria are moving seeds even to Ghana on their own. But the issue of movement is actually a problem.
Is it the customs? What is the challenge here?
I think the custom in some of those countries is actually a problem, and that is an area that needs to actually be able to look at. And actually the policy of some of those governments, because that's the way I look at it, you know, we should make it very seamless so that seeds will be able to move from one country to the other. That is the essence of harmonization.
Yeah, because the Economic Community of West African States decrees that there should be free movement of people, goods, and services, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is not really justified if you cannot get seeds moving from one country to the other.
That is it.
Quick question for you with respect to what you're hearing from SIDAN. SIDAN is a very close actor of yours.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that they're putting to you for you to help them solve in that regard?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, the issue of finance is a big issue. It's a big issue which needs to be solved. And we are speaking to government, we are speaking to NISA, and we are speaking to the minister. For your information, the Minister of Agriculture, Alhaji Sabona Nanunu, will be coming to these premises on the 18th of February in order to look at some of the problems around some of the challenges and problems of the Sudan. So it's actually a problem because you need a lot of money to be able to put up industry facilities, seed testing facilities, seed processing facilities, storage, and even the buyback from seed growers. So money is actually a challenge, and it's a very big challenge.
Yeah, this has always been a challenge, right? Commercial banks don't want to loan to
they don't want to
actors
loan
in agriculture.
They don't want to loan to agriculture, and even the interest rate is actually very high, and something actually has to be done in that perspective. And I'm sure the Minister of Agriculture is looking at it in order to be able to reduce the interest rate to 1 digit, just like it's done in other economies. Yeah.
You are pretty much right up there in the Ministry of Agriculture, which is, of course, at the senior government level in Nigeria with respect to some of these issues. Yeah. You've been in this domain for a long time. How do you solve this financial dilemma, Dr. Ojo?
Thank you very much. I told you that the Honorable Minister will be coming here on the 18th because the ministry, we had a meeting of the industry with the minister. Also, we are speaking to NISA, and we are going to continue to speak to Central Bank. And we are even trying to organize a stakeholders workshop for all the commercial banks to actually allow them to see, the importance of ensuring that money, fund, loan is actually made available to seed enterprises in such a way that there's going to be a lot of production in Nigeria, because we are talking of food security. If the people that are actually producing seed cannot actually be able to get adequate funding, there's not going to be anything close to what we call food security, because if there's no seed security, you cannot get food security. Absolutely,
because seeds are very critical to food security, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are almost closing this interview. You've been around since 1975, the seed system in Nigeria as an organized system.
Yeah.
Where do you see the seed system going in terms of the outlook? Just speak to us a little bit about this based on how much progress you've made. Where do you see the seed system in the next 5 years? Of course, based on the strategic plan that you have, based on the new Seed Act that was signed in 2019. Where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years, particularly with respect to contributing to food security in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. Our outlook is that in the next 5 to 10 years, we will be able to play a proper role as a leader of the seed industry in Africa, even beyond the shores of West Africa. We will be able to have quality seeds for our farmers. Our farmers, then we will be able to actually ensure that only good quality seeds are made available. The issue of adaptation of seeds will be reduced to the barest minimum if we cannot, completely eradicate it. Also, the issue of ensuring that adoption rate is actually properly put where it should be. we are thinking that in the next 5 years, probably we'll have close to 70% the adoption rate of improved seeds in Nigeria. These are the areas we are actually going to look at. And I would believe that with what is put together, food security will be assured. Complete food security.
Excellent. Great. 3 more things to end, and very quickly, just to get your thoughts on it. There is currently a strategy, an agri-input strategy under design in West Africa.
Yeah.
It is integrated because they are looking at all inputs, not only seeds, but pesticides and fertilizers together. Yeah. What do you have as thoughts with respect to that process? Do you think it would bring any value in terms of us being able to manage the sector better? I just want to hear your thoughts on that little quick.
I believe that it's actually a step in the right direction. We're in agriculture, and there are other seeds, not only agricultural seeds, livestock seeds, fisheries, and the rest of it. And if all these things are harnessed properly, that is when we can say we have arrived. If we segment them, they will not be able to work better. So, but I think ECOWAS and CORAF has done the right thing by putting together this convergence so that we get things properly done. Last
development in Abuja, you've participated just this week. Another big meeting bringing all actors in the sector of agri-inputs.
Yeah.
The overall thinking here is that by bringing them together, they can discuss, they can dialogue and solve their problems, understand themselves better, seize new opportunities. You were in that meeting.
Yeah.
Did you seize opportunities? Did you get some new MOUs, some new agreements?
Let me tell you.
How useful is that in terms of...
It's a very useful meeting, very, very useful. We were able to even get more partners. Let me inform you that the Seed Connect we are talking about, some of the participants of that meeting has indicated interest. I spoke to the Director General of CORAF. I spoke to the Chief of Party of PED, and some of the other big wigs. And they gave us the awards that are coming because we had to do a lot of things together. Absolutely. We are talking of actually upscaling the seed tracker to West Africa. We are talking of the Ecodex, trying to upscale it to West Africa. We can do all this through partnership, through cooperation. And we have been able to put solid foundation in those areas. So it's actually a very, very, very good meeting.
Excellent. What keeps you at night awake, Dr. Ojo? What worries you in terms of this work that you do? This is probably a personal question. When you go to bed and sleep, what is it that keeps you awake in the night in terms of that you may achieve or you may not achieve this very big mission that you have?
What keeps me awake is looking at all possible ways and strategies to ensure that farmers have adequate access to good quality seeds, to ensure that farmers no longer use poor quality seeds, and seed dealers to do the needful in ensuring that when they are procuring seeds from the vendors, from seed companies, put their eyes to it to ensure that it's only good quality seeds that are there. And the thinking now is that with the seed codex that we're putting in place, looking at what we're going to do to actually eliminate to the barest minimum adulterated and fake seeds from the markets.
With that, we want to thank you so much, Dr. Philip Olusegun Ojo, Director General of the National Agricultural Seeds Council in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
And congratulate you and wish you all the best in your job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.